My name is Maddie Rayner. I am a surfboard shaper for work. That's just what I do Monday to Friday. I like a lot of other things. I'm a dad full-time. I have 3 kids. I love to train Muay Thai. I love to teach Muay Thai. I love to fight Muay Thai when it happens, which is pretty rare. I love playing golf. I love all the stuff that most people like. So I'm gonna be inviting friends from all over that do all kinds of things. Very few of them are pro surfers at all, but they're just people who are enthusiasts. They love the ocean, they love the water, they love surfing, whether it's a new passion or something they've grown up doing. I want them to come in and get their hands dirty and shape their own boards and find the connection between the movement of their boards in the water and the lines they cut themselves into the foam.
It could easily be argued that this man is the best big wave surfer to walk the planet. His video parts have been ingrained in our brains for several decades, and now he's father to one of the best young surf prodigies to date. We invited Super Dad, Hunter, and Master Waterman Shane Dorian and his son Jackson into the studio to learn a bit more about their worlds.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I don't know. Okay, let's check it out.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think.
What are we thinking?
It's hard because what are you weighing right now?
Probably 160.
160, and then what are you weighing?
I don't know. I've kind of fluctuated. I lost weight this trip. I think 115.
115 or so?
Yeah.
So that's a big weight differential. So we're trying to build a board for the two of you that you can share and pass off and all that stuff. That's gonna be like rideable.
Right in between.
Right in between.
Yeah.
And so it's really tricky and really critical. I think what we're gonna do is some kind of like fuller nosed, pin-tailed board that's has enough thickness for Shane, and then is narrow enough to where you can still get in there. And I think for you, this board might be kind of sick at like, fun backdoor or something like that, or any kind of like long drivey, especially frontside waves for some reason. Yeah,
You gotta be good because it's probably easier to catch waves too.
Yeah, you're gonna be in so early is the thing. It might be trickier to turn for you than it would be for Shane.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of the give or take. But in 20 years, you might be able to pull this thing out of your closet, and then you're going to be able to do, it's going to be wild. These boards are cool too because your first shapes, I think, at least, especially for you, I would say hang on to them forever and then pass them on to your kids if that's in the cards or whatever it is, just because it's a cool thing. And I think it's going to be fun. But we're going to have to get really weird, and we had to get really creative on how to make this work for both of us.
Where are these made, these blanks?
These are the only US made blanks that there are.
Texas or something?
I think they're made in LA, at US Blanks in LA. All the other blank companies that I can think of, like Millennium and Arctic, which I kind of prefer a lot of times to these blanks, they're all made in Mexico in Rosarito. So you have, if we slide our blank or slide our overall shape up, it ends up being 2 inches from the tail. Right here is where we would want to start that. And that would mostly just be to be able to get us like our rocker built into it. So we don't have to do a lot of this trimming up and all this like crazy rocker measuring because that takes so much time. So
right here too?
Yep, right there. Nice. The softer the strokes, the better the saw will cut. Nice and slow. Boom.
Awesome.
There you go.
Just like this?
Uh-huh. Perfect, and you're perfectly straight right now. Nice.
You think that's good?
Yeah, that's good enough because really, we're gonna line our template up, and this part of the board is gonna all get cut off anyways. Okay. All of this stuff. We're just trying to get us as close as possible to where we're gonna end up. It's all you've known, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's just your dad.
Yeah.
He could be the worst surfer ever, or he could be whatever, and it's all the same. But let's ask it because let's start doing it. Jackson, what is it like having your dad be one of the best surfers of all time?
When I was little, I didn't think much of it. It was just people asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. But that was when I was that was before I was surfing. I was a skateboarder or doing whatever else I was doing. And now that I slowly am starting to get into surfing, I realize how hard everything he's doing is. And watching old footage of him and watching him now, and his knowledge, everything like that, it's just like weird to see it all coming and realizing how gnarly the stuff he's done actually is.
Was there a point for you where, because I'm sure you had heard that like at school, in elementary school, like, oh, your dad is Shane Dorian and all that stuff, but at some point you realize like, oh, my dad is kind of gnarly, like he's super good. Like, how old do you think you were when you realized that? Like, when was the first time that you actually realized for yourself how good of a surfer your dad was?
I think it just slowly came as I slowly started surfing more and more from when I first started to even now. Like, seeing him at Pipe now, it's just like, it's gone slowly but surely. I realized like how difficult everything he's done actually is.
This is just wild to me because I can't even comprehend this, but what is it like having your baby en route to becoming one of the best surfers, if not the best surfer in the world? I mean, is that weird? I mean, this is your like little offspring baby thing, you know?
Yeah, it's very weird. And it was like a very, it's kind of a surprise, really, to be honest. He never even really liked surfing when he was little. He loved skateboarding, and so the surfing thing kind of like popped out of nowhere, very like organically. And then I just was stoked he liked to surf. And then now he's getting really good at surfing, and it's fun. And a lot of times I'm baffled, like I'll take him to like, you know, we could be at the Waco pool in Texas, and he'll do stuff that I've only seen a few people do, and it's shocking, you know, like, wow, I can't believe you can do that on a surfboard.
Some stuff that you could never do.
Stuff that I can't even imagine even attempting. So it's amazing and weird and fun all at the same time. But I feel like, even though it's a little bit different, I feel like every parent can sort of like relate in a way where they're just like baffled that their kid can do certain things. So it's awesome.
I feel like I've skipped like the last 5 or 6 years of the internet. I've just not been good at keeping up on videos of surfline or any of that stuff. But I just remember seeing Jackson skateboarding all the time. And I thought it was super cool that, I don't know how the dynamic actually was, but it didn't seem like you were the dad that was like, no, you're coming surfing with me and like making it happen, or were you?
Not at all.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm still not really like that, you know, like, I'm honestly like genuinely stoked that my kids like to surf. And whether he surfed super good or whether he just liked to go surfing, I'm just stoked because we get to do surf trips together, which is like my dream, to be able to like go to places that I love to go with my kid now, or go to places I've never been before and be able to do that together. I feel like it's a crazy opportunity that almost every parent would like. So I feel super lucky.
I would love if I had to go chaperone my kid at Tavarua or something like that too. It's like,
and it's weird,
whatever it is. It's just like.
And I have so many friends who love surfing, and their kids just aren't having it. There's nothing you can do to get your kid into surfing that is like a guaranteed strategy, because we all want to share our love of surfing with our children, because it's so fun. It's meant so much in our lives, but there's not really like the best way or anything like that. So I'm just grateful that he loves to surf, and he's like genuinely loves to surf. So
I think it's really cool that you just kind of let him develop that love on his own, because I think you see so many, like, especially the contest scene nowadays, like you see so many little kids who are kind of like forced into it and forced and pushed and all that, and you know, however it did happen, I think we're all glad we're surfing now.
Yeah. Like when I started surfing, I was starting to like see everybody else like starting to get pushed by their parents, and he just like told me like whatever I was happy doing, he was all for it. Like he was happy to see me skateboarding. It didn't matter if I was surfing or not, as long as I was having fun. He was super stoked. And yeah, I just started surfing and I liked it all of a sudden. Like at one point I didn't really like it at all. I was just doing whatever I like to do on land. And now I love it. It's awesome. Yeah.
Super cool. That's like black belt dad shit, you know? Just let him grow into it. So like my dream is to travel and to just be into whatever my kids are into. Right now, my 12-year-old is super into crystals.
Yeah.
And I'm trying really hard, but I know we're not going to go on any like crystal trips probably. So what's it like to be able to share those experiences with your kid and do the same thing that you want to do already?
Yeah, it's the dream really, because I love to surf. I'm super passionate about it, and to be able to be passionate about the same thing with your kids is pretty rare, I think. So I feel super grateful, and yeah, I mean, we've been able to like travel a lot of places, like almost to the point where I feel guilty, you know, like, but it's really awesome. Like we both love to snowboard, we both love to surf, and like just like a couple weeks ago, we went to Chopo for Jackson's first time, and I remember my first time ever to Chopo and surfing there, and just the mountains there, and like we surfed there alone, like it was amazing, and like he got to meet some of my friends that live in Tahiti and hang out in Tahiti, and then after that we were snowboarding in Telluride and snowboarding with some of my friends, and they got to meet Jackson and ride with him, and it's just, I guess the point is just like I feel incredibly lucky to be able to travel with my kid, and you know, like kids are only kids once. We only get one chance to do that with our kids. So any chance I get to be able to travel with my kids, I'm going to take it. And so that's my goal until they become adults, is to travel with them as much as I can. And that's actually over everything. That's the most important thing to me, because I feel like that's the best education they get as well. So that's like my priority.
Jackson, do you see this dot yet?
This little guy right here.
It should be, yeah, right there is where we want to line up with.
Keep your pencil kind of vertical. But
Yeah, like it's kind of like right in there. That's kind of a thick piece of lead too. But also this outline at this point is kind of like we're still going to cut outside of this line to give ourselves a little bit of a buffer so we can kind of pull it in. Keep walking it. There you go. Cross step like a longboard. Just let it like, nailed it.
There you go.
Look how clean that is too. You can see there's a couple little like funky things. All this stuff is gonna get smoothed out with the block.
there you go.
Nice. There it is. I'm right there.
Big Island, what's that like? Growing up there, living there, raising kids there?
It's awesome, but it's kind of slow. Everything moves a little bit slower. The waves aren't as big and it's not as crowded on the Big Island, but it's awesome. It's really cool. It's probably one of the coolest places to grow up.
Are you guys Kona side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were both born and raised in Kona.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's like kind of all we've ever known as far as like home goes. And yeah, it's kind of like a small town where we live. It's pretty chill and like laid back.
Are you hunting on Big Island? Are you going outer island? Are you going Lanai or Molokai, or where do you go? How is it?
Yeah, I'm really into bow hunting. I really enjoy it. It's something I love to do as far as like a stress reliever and just like having time to yourself. And then also, you know, like sort of, I do love hunting at home, but we don't have deer where I live, and my family loves to eat venison. So I spend a lot of time hunting on Maui and Molokai and Lanai. So that's where all the deer are. And so, yeah, I try to go to Maui or Lanai or Molokai. I try to go deer hunting in Hawaii probably like 5 or 6 times a year. And we're super lucky with a bow, it's unlimited. So if I ever get too many, then I share with friends and family. But yeah, they're super delicious and their numbers are a problem. So it's kind of a perfect situation.
Do you hunt anything else on Big Island at home?
Yeah, so where I live, so where I live on the Big Island, there's goats, there's wild boar, and then there's rams, like sheep, you know, so, which are really cool because they all live like in different terrains. So like you can hunt all the way from like, you know, like goats on the cliffs of the ocean all the way to like 10,000 foot elevation for rams, which is really cool. Like sort of like just below like the snow in the wintertime, which is really cool. I just really love where I live because I can do like multi-day hunts where I'm like camping in the wilderness and, you know, walking all day long and like living out of my backpack and my tent.
Different climate changes.
Yeah, which is cool. It's just it's something I really love. I love it, and my family loves to eat the meat.
It's the most important part.
Yeah.
Huh? Jackson, have you been out doing this? Have you done any hunting yet?
I haven't gone in a couple years, but I like it a lot. It's good exercise.
Walking around?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiking, carrying stuff?
It's mostly about the experience. So rewarding when you get something, and it's really challenging and difficult, but it's fun to be with friends, fun to be alone, fun to be by yourself in nature, or being with a friend in nature and just figuring it out. It's just awesome.
Super cool.
The last trip Jackson and I did hunting, we were hunting for rams, and it was like a 3-day, like in the tent, like walking all day, wilderness hunting. So it was a lot of fun to be able to share that with Jackson, just the experience. And then at night having like the fire and the fresh meat on the fire, and it's just super fun. It's a fun thing to be able to share, just like surfing is, same thing.
What's the longest you guys have gone, either of you, out without like cell phone stuff or just being out on a hunt, away from any kind of communication with anybody?
I did 10 days in Colorado all by myself, solo. Ooh. Yeah, and I had a satellite phone for emergency in case there was an issue. Yeah, but yeah, 10 days is, after about day 3 or 4, you start it's kind of weird. You start kind of I don't know. I feel like you really get to know yourself when you're alone. And then I remember talking to my friend. I hiked out. He picked me up, and it sounded like he was yelling at me, even though he was talking like this.
Just because you're desensitized from sound and everything else.
Yeah, you don't hear a voice.
Everything is so acute.
For a week and a half. It doesn't seem like a long time. It's a long time. Yeah, I've run into some bears. I run into some big bears, like in Colorado and stuff, kind of right up on them.
Got charged by the bull, remember that?
A couple different times I got charged by a wild bull, which I thought it broke my leg for a little bit. It charged me and T-boned my whole femur.
Huge dead
leg. Yeah, I had a huge bruise from my hip to my knee. I've had a whole herd of elk nearly trample me in the middle of the night in Colorado. Been through gnarly lightning storms where I had to pack up my whole tent in the middle of the night and move 1,000 foot lower. So it's been, I love hunting because it's like an adventure. Every time you go hunting, especially when you do multi-day camping hunts, it's like a crazy adventure. So it's awesome.
A lot of similarities that I think with hunting and surfing, where it's just you don't really get the same look twice, ever. Yeah. It's always just learning how to adapt with whatever's going on.
And they both have their awesome similarities, because I love surfing with my kid or with my friends or going on a surf trip with buddies. That social aspect of surfing. Then I also love surfing to get away from everybody and go surf by myself way down the beach or a secret surf spot solo. And it's the same with hunting. I love hunting with buddies as a social aspect, or camping together. And I also love hunting completely solo for days. They're both awesome.
Nice. How's that for Jackson, seeing all this stuff happen, and then is Jackson gonna follow suit? Is that scary for you? I mean, I know that you train and everything else, and it's gotta be weird as a dad.
Yeah, it's very weird as a dad.
It's complicated.
For sure. Yeah, for me, it's, for myself, I'm kind of transitioning slowly out of really, really big wave surfing. I still love big waves, but my idea of big waves is starting to change a little bit as I'm getting older, which is always the plan and the goal. As far as Jackson goes, I mean, that's really a decision that he has to make, but I'm kind of semi discouraging him from doing that, just because of the safety aspect. And I want him to surf the kind of waves he wants to surf. I don't want him to feel any pressure at all from his dad to just go surf gnarly waves or anything. I don't know, what do you think, dude? You gotta take your mask off.
Darth Vader.
I don't know. I'm scared of pipe. Yeah. I don't think I'm going past pipe. I'll just maybe surf Big Choco. But other than that, I'm not touching anything bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. I'm not doing it though.
It's weird these days. Like, we'll be sitting there and he'll be like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go surf." I'm like, "Where are you surfing?" He's like, "Pipe." And I'll like peek my head out and it's like 10-foot pipe, and I'm like, even though he's not getting the 10-foot waves, it's like pretty freaky having your kid surfing pipeline. So I've been out there for almost 35 years now. So I've seen seen how scary and how dangerous it is firsthand. So to have your kid surfing pipeline is terrifying as a parent, to be honest. But it's just part of the evolution of his story and what he's up to and what he's passionate about. And his buddies are out there and it's a lot of fun for him. So as long as he does it because he wants to and he enjoys it, then it's cool with me.
I think it's such a healthy approach to it. Like, we've all heard that analogy of raising kids is like, what is it, like the gardener versus the what? I can't remember what the other thing is. There's a gardener and then there's like a construction guy, and one of them makes their kid do whatever, and then the gardener just kind of plants the seeds and watches it grow however it does.
Yeah.
And it seems like a really healthy way to raise a kid in a
It's
sport.
funny because
scary.
not for like on the record or anything, but like there's so many examples where like the crazy soccer dad does his kind of parenting and everybody cringes and it's like everyone hates watching that, and it ends up working, like Tiger Woods, and there's a lot of really good examples in surfing. But I mean, whether or not that works or not, that's just not really the kind of parenting that I want to do. So I mean, I'm just have a little different style, It's more about life is short, dude. You should live it how you want,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to have a dad like that gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
My dad was a very semi-militant police officer in Santa Cruz, and yeah, we should probably don't even go there. let's just scrap
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Well, we gotta cut that. Use those lights,
You can see
the symmetrical lights. Like, you'll be able to, even if you twist it, you can see every little thing on there. Dude, your signature is epic.
So bad.
No, it's authentic as hell. You didn't have to learn cursive, right?
I did, but I didn't. I just figured it out after like 2 months.
What is it? I love that.
Man, I would love to see somebody. Thank you so much for watching another episode and season of Fresh Lines. Want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, Monster Energy and Loose Towels. Please go back and check out the other episodes as well, and go ahead and do all the liking and subscribing and all the internet stuff that happens on YouTube here, just whatever pops up, click it. Thank you so much.